I'd like to congratulate Maxwell. Well done. You did New Zealand proud. You did your mother and your grandmother proud. And it's only right that we honour them in this way. We've got a small certificate and a gift for him from the Ministry of Civil Defence and Emergency Management, but I think it's only right that you should applaud him for what he's actually done.
And Max, this certificate is from the New Zealand Police, the Area Commander. It's an Area Commander's Commendation, and it reads, "To Max Wilson, for your outstanding bravery and quick actions during the tsunami in Western Samoa, on the 29th of September 2009 at Lalamanu, Western Samoa, you warned residents from the Samoa resort of the impending tsunami by running up the beach, which undoubtedly contributed to saving people's lives. The New Zealand Police wish to acknowledge and thank you for your actions."
On the 29th of September 2009, I ran for my life. I was on holiday with my father and my sister at the Samoa resort, Lalamanu, Samoa. I was in the bathroom of the toilet block across the road from our Valley resort, which was located on the southern coast of Samoa, when the earthquake started. I thought someone had turned on the generator. It wasn't until I was walking out of the bathroom to the Valley I realized it was an earthquake. I saw Dad running towards our friend, Jenny, to tell her to get out. There was an earthquake. Jenny said, "Why?" She was reluctant to move, so Dad shouted at her and her daughter to get out and hurry unless they wanted to die. I ran to the beach so that nothing could fall on me. In the back of my mind, I thought, tsunami. I knew that strong earthquakes could cause a tsunami. Dad came to meet me at the beach and said, "Watch the water, there could be a tsunami." Dad went to check on Poppy, who was in the toilet block. When Dad came back, we watched the water for another minute, and all of a sudden, the water went dead still. The reef turned into a backwards waterfall, and my heart started racing, and I'm pretty sure a tsunami was coming. Dad yelled, "Run for your life and don't look back!" No one else seemed to be aware that there could be a tsunami. I ran up and down the valley shouting, "Tsunami, everybody run!" Dad ran to get Poppy. I repeated my shouting about 9 times, determined to get people out of their valleys. As soon as I saw people moving, I shot off towards the cliff. I started climbing fast. I felt the adrenaline run through my body. I looked back to see Dad and Poppy following me. Dad was yelling, "Go, go, go!" I thought to myself, at least they were following me. About a quarter of the way up the cliff, I heard the roar of the water, and the noise of the power poles and the trees snapping. I climbed even faster. I got about halfway up when the first wave hit. I looked back to see a wall of water coming towards us, and to see Poppy and Dad close to me as we climbed. I yelled, "If I'm going to die, at least I'm going to die with you guys." Dad replied, "Don't be stupid, just go." The first wave hit with a crash, smashing through the concrete toilet block, reaching well up the cliff where we were. I knew the second wave would be bigger, so I climbed even faster up the cliff. I finally got to the top and looked back to see people grabbing onto anything they could down below, trying desperately to get out of the water. People were screaming in terror. I saw lots of people getting sucked out. Some more people came up. We thought our friends Jenny and Sophie were dead. They came up 10 minutes later. I was so relieved to see them. Then Scott, who had also been staying at our resort, came up naked, bruised and cut all over. He was in bed when the tsunami hit, so he was very lucky to be alive. His family was so happy to see him, hugging and kissing him. We all mustered up the top. A Samoan boy said, "I must go down and save my mum." My dad said, "No, don't risk your life." My dad then turned his attention to my sister, and the little boy was gone. We never saw him again. My sister started to vomit or shock. About 20 to 30 people were mustered at the top of our part of the cliff. So we started to make our way to a church. But we got interrupted by someone saying, "We must go to the hospital. It is up this way." We made our way to the hospital bare feet. We hadn't had time to grab any of our belongings from the far left. A couple of minutes later, the wounded came in. There was the Samoan lady crying over her dead baby. Lots of people died in front of us then. I was in terrible shock, feeling queasy in the stomach. The hospital was getting a bit crazy. We decided to make our way up a gravel road to a half-built house. The road was extremely rocky and hurt our bare feet. By the time we got there, our feet were bruised and cut, and Jenny had a piece of stick stuck in her foot. There was no one at the house when we arrived, but people started arriving in the next few minutes. We made makeshift tables for the wounded out of building supplies. People were crying in pain. One lady had a broken back. Lots of people had gouged out eyes, punctured lungs, and most of them had taken on a lot of water. I was beginning to feel even more stressed. We stayed in that house for about 4 to 5 hours. Some local people made us lunch. The wounded were unattended for a couple of hours until the doctors came from Apia. At the end of the day, some Samoans drove us back to Apia on the back of the ute. On our way, we saw no buildings left, just debris all over the place. My sister and I saw a leg floating in the water. I felt very sad. We were all very quiet that trip. We got dropped off in a hotel in Apia where we stayed for the night. Early next morning, at 4:30, the church bell started to ring. We all scrambled upstairs in a panic. The hotel owner came up saying it was early church. Later that day, we took the 7 p.m. flight out to New Zealand. The Samoans were the kindest people I've met. On the day, they looked after us before they looked after their own families. They had lost everything, most had lost family and friends. I'm returning to Latiasini once it is revealed we want to go back for opening night. That was the day I ran for my life.